Prince William is reportedly formulating a plan to finally strip Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their HRH titles. Riley Sullivan is a lifestyle reporter here at skynews.com.au, and he's always across the latest celebrity headlines.
Prince William has finally snapped. Enough is enough. He has told friends he will strip Meghan Markle of the HRH title.
But wanting to exploit their royal titles, I think it stinks. And I think what King Charles should do, he should just strip them of the titles. Let them go off and be, celebrities. That's fine. But don't do it in the name of our royal family.
But this has been Meghan Markle's MO from the beginning. She wants all of the privileges that go along with an identity, but she doesn't want any of the responsibility. She doesn't want to do any of the work. She wants the tiara. She doesn't want the public service.
The only thing HRH stands for in association with Meghan Markle is her ruthless homewreckerness, I guess.
Prince William has finally unleashed his master plan, and Meghan Markle's royal fairy tale might end in a shocking nightmare. After years of whispers, rumors, and tabloid speculation, a secret motion inside Britain's oldest halls of power is about to strip Meghan of everything she thought was safe, her coveted royal title. But why now? And what exactly did Meghan do that forced the quiet corridors of Westminster to erupt into a constitutional crisis? The truth isn't just controversial, it's explosive. It began quietly, without headlines or scandalous leaks, just whispered conversations echoing softly through the halls of Westminster. At first, these murmurs seemed insignificant, routine gossip among politicians and peers. But beneath the surface, something historic was brewing. Sources within Buckingham Palace hinted that Prince William was quietly strategizing behind closed doors, determined to take drastic action against Meghan Markle's ongoing defiance. Ever since stepping away from royal duties, Meghan continued to boldly flaunt her HRH title, openly defying agreements made with the late Queen Elizabeth. This wasn't just a breach of etiquette. It struck at the very heart of royal protocol, enraging palace officials who watched helplessly as she turned a noble distinction into a marketing tool. Parliament had stayed silent until now, careful not to involve itself directly in royal family affairs. But Meghan's continuous public provocations finally crossed the line, pushing even the typically neutral House of Lords into unprecedented action. Quiet whispers quickly escalated into urgent conversations, laying the groundwork for an official petition, a legal move to remove her royal title permanently. Britain's oldest democratic chamber had never before challenged royalty this openly. And yet, Meghan Markle's actions had left them no choice. But the whispers were only the beginning. Meghan Markle didn't just break an informal promise, she openly mocked a centuries-old royal tradition. When she and Harry stepped back from royal duties in 2020, they agreed with Queen Elizabeth herself that their HRH titles would be off-limits. This wasn't just symbolic, it was essential. HRH status is reserved strictly for working royals, those actively representing the crown. But Meghan ignored this agreement entirely, repeatedly flaunting the title in public appearances, charity events, and even casual conversations caught on camera. Each time she did, frustration within Buckingham Palace grew into quiet rage. Insiders described palace officials feeling increasingly disrespected, even humiliated, as Meghan openly challenged their authority without consequence. But what finally turned frustration into action was Meghan's controversial private trip to Nigeria. Without clearance from the palace or the Foreign Office, she and Harry met with top military officials, posed for official style photos, and delivered speeches, all under the Sussex name as if still official envoys of Britain. Parliament saw this as a severe breach of diplomatic protocol. Meghan had blurred critical lines between royal representation and personal branding, endangering Britain's carefully maintained neutrality. Her boldness had gone too far, and Parliament wasn't just annoyed, it was prepared to make history by holding Meghan Markle legally accountable. This wasn't a tabloid frenzy, it was Parliament stepping directly into royal drama. For the first time, the House of Lords, Britain's prestigious and oldest democratic chamber, took official action against Meghan Markle. Crossbench peer Lord Simon Lee led the charge, placing a formal motion that wasn't merely symbolic. It was a legal petition backed by influential members from both Conservative and Labour parties. This unprecedented bipartisan unity showed just how serious the situation had become. The petition accused Meghan of exploiting her royal title, turning the prestigious Duchess of Sussex designation into a profitable global brand. Parliament explicitly condemned her actions, stating Meghan disrespected diplomatic protocols and degraded a title held in trust from the Crown. The Lords were blunt. Meghan's behavior was more than controversial. It bordered on unconstitutional. Official statements made it clear they considered her conduct a threat to the monarchy's dignity and international standing. Her unofficial diplomatic trips, Netflix documentaries, and casual jokes about being Sussex had become too brazen to ignore. This was no longer mere gossip. It was a legal battle unfolding publicly at the highest levels of British government. Parliament was now doing what Buckingham Palace had refused to, hold Meghan Markle accountable in a move that could redefine royal protocol for generations. The tipping point wasn't gossip or a media frenzy. It was Meghan and Harry's secretive trip to Nigeria. They arrived without approval from Buckingham Palace or the Foreign Office, acting as though still representing British royalty. Meghan appeared in traditional attire, held meetings with senior military leaders, posed for official photographs, and even delivered speeches, all under the guise of her royal title. It wasn't just unauthorized, it was diplomatically reckless. Parliament quickly recognized the dangerous implications. Such unofficial diplomacy blurred critical lines, risking confusion about Britain's official stance and jeopardizing carefully maintained neutrality. Insiders described a palpable outrage at Westminster, as peers questioned how a private citizen, even one with a royal title, could act as an official envoy without oversight. The House of Lords labeled Meghan's actions as unauthorized diplomatic posturing, calling it a clear violation of royal protocols. This wasn't mere celebrity behavior, it posed real diplomatic risks. For Parliament, this event marked a dangerous escalation, one they could no longer ignore. Meghan's self-assigned diplomatic role forced lawmakers to confront an uncomfortable reality. Her continued use of royal privileges without royal responsibilities had officially crossed the line into potential constitutional crisis. Public outrage wasn't just simmering, it had reached a boiling point. A recent YouGov poll revealed staggering results. 77% of the British public now supported stripping Meghan Markle of her royal title. This wasn't merely disapproval, it was overwhelming condemnation, surpassing the backlash from the explosive Oprah interview and previous scandals. Citizens from all political backgrounds voiced a clear message. Royal titles aren't celebrity perks. They come with profound duties and responsibilities. Meghan's perceived exploitation of her title, paired with her consistent public provocations, had ignited a unified call for action. Members of Parliament heard this outcry clearly, understanding the magnitude of the public's anger. British citizens were no longer just frustrated. They felt Meghan was mocking the very essence of royal dignity. The poll's results sent shockwaves through Westminster, further emboldening the House of Lords to take definitive steps. Lawmakers couldn't ignore such overwhelming public sentiment. They recognized this as more than just passing outrage. It was a direct threat to public trust in the monarchy itself. Parliament knew that to preserve the integrity of royal titles, decisive action was essential. Meghan Markle, once celebrated as a fresh face in the monarchy, now stood at the center of a historic public rebuke, with the British public united against her like never before. Everything changed with a seemingly casual moment at a Beyoncé concert. Meghan Markle was caught on camera laughing and declaring, "You know, I'm Sussex now," jokingly instructing celebrity friends to call her Meghan Sussex. To most, it seemed harmless, a celebrity enjoying the spotlight, but to the House of Lords, it was a public humiliation. Parliament saw it clearly. Meghan wasn't merely joking. She was openly trivializing a royal title, turning centuries of tradition into a branding gimmick. This moment wasn't just embarrassing, it violated the core principles of Britain's monarchy. Legal experts quickly noted Meghan's behavior might directly breach the 1917 Royal Titles Act, a law explicitly forbidding royals from commercially exploiting their status. For lawmakers, Meghan's joke was the final straw, turning quiet frustration into a constitutional crisis. Parliament swiftly responded, explicitly mentioning this viral moment in their formal petition. They accused Meghan of undermining royal dignity by casually using her title as a marketing tool, openly mocking what should be revered. Her playful quip became the symbolic catalyst that transformed whispered complaints into official legal action. Suddenly, Meghan's casual branding threatened more than her own image, it put the entire monarchy's reputation at stake. Meghan's royal title wasn't just a badge of honor, it was a business brand, aggressively marketed worldwide. Her multi-million-dollar deals with Netflix and Spotify put Sussex front and center, prominently displayed and advertised as part of their personal empire. Parliament took sharp notice, accusing her of openly commercializing royal status. Meghan's podcast, Archetypes, repeatedly leveraged her royal experiences for attention, frequently referencing conflicts within Buckingham Palace, family dramas, and sensitive internal issues. The Netflix documentary even boldly showcased their titles in a distinctly royal font, directly linking royalty with personal profit. Such moves deeply alarmed lawmakers, who argued Meghan was turning royal dignity into reality TV spectacle. Even Queen Elizabeth had once intervened, personally blocking Meghan and Harry's attempt to trademark Sussex Royal, a blatant commercialization that Parliament now cited as proof of exploitation. The Lords weren't objecting to Meghan's business ventures, they objected to her explicitly capitalizing on a title meant for public service, not personal enrichment. Parliament labeled this practice unauthorized commercial exploitation, and their outrage wasn't symbolic, it was a direct legal challenge. Meghan Markle's once powerful royal brand now stood accused of abusing noble status, leaving Parliament determined to dismantle the empire she built around the Sussex name. This isn't simply royal gossip, it's a constitutional showdown. Parliament framed Meghan Markle's actions not merely as personal missteps, but as direct threats to the monarchy itself. Her explosive accusations during the infamous Oprah interview, alleging racism without naming names, triggered international outrage and severely damaged the monarchy's global image. The House of Lords described these accusations as deliberate sabotage, highlighting how Meghan utilized her royal title as a shield while openly criticizing the institution she once pledged to support. Parliament argued this wasn't protected free speech, it was calculated provocation, leveraging her noble status to amplify personal grievances. They pointed directly at Meghan's repeated violations of royal communication protocols, especially through her podcast and interviews, emphasizing that her statements significantly harmed Britain's reputation abroad. What began as private family drama had escalated into a full-scale legal crisis, forcing Parliament to step in to defend constitutional integrity. The Lords viewed Meghan's actions as deeply irresponsible, using her title to incite division, undermine diplomatic relations, and erode trust in royal authority. With their petition, lawmakers delivered a blunt message. Royal titles come with duties, not just privileges, and Meghan Markle's actions had crossed into constitutional misconduct. In the end, this is about more than Meghan Markle. It's about preserving the essence of the monarchy itself. Parliament's unprecedented move isn't driven by revenge or personal vendettas. It's about safeguarding an institution that has weathered scandals, abdications, and even wars. Meghan's celebrity-driven approach challenged the fundamental meaning of royal duty and accountability, prompting lawmakers to draw an unmistakable line. Her actions didn't merely provoke public debate, they triggered a constitutional reckoning, one that will set a powerful precedent for future generations. Parliament now faces a pivotal choice: allow royal titles to be exploited for personal gain, or reinforce the sanctity of noble rank. Whatever the outcome, Meghan Markle has ignited a crisis that will reshape Britain's monarchy forever. The world watches closely, knowing the House of Lords isn't just deciding Meghan's fate, they're defining what royalty means in the modern age.